Today I'd like to show you how to replace a Marvin retractable screen with a fixed screen. So let's get started. When ordering a kit to do this, we need the information that's on this serial number in the upper right-hand corner. And I will show you another spot to look to get us the information. So on the back side of this housing, this gives us the original order number and all the information off this window. We could actually put this order information in the computer and it'll tell us everything we need to order for that window to get all the proper parts. So before I go ahead and disassemble this retractable screen, I want to make sure that all the parts that I ordered are correct. And fortunately for me, these are already factory stained, so when I replace this, it's going to look pretty seamless. I'll also put the profile number down here, and that way you can see in order the proper profiles. There are several different profiles for these. I'll give you the numbers for this actually crank out Marvin Ultimate Casement. If you have a push out casement, it's going to be different profiles. So just to let you know. So along with getting us the proper information and the order numbers off this window to get you the right parts, when ordering the new parts, you need to specify it's the lock side where the lock is here. The hinge side, this is the side where the window hinges when it opens, and then you need to give us if it's the bottom or the top. So I'm going to go ahead and verify that the parts fit. So this is the lock side. The lock side has a little notch for the lock, and I'm just going to hold it up inside the frame, and it looks like it fits. And it does. Now we're going to verify that the hinge side is the proper side. The hinge side does not have any preparation on it for any of the hardware. So that's going to go on this side, and it fits. And this is the head side. It's got the little groove cut in the top for the new screen to go into. And we just verify that it fits between, which it looks like it does. And then the bottom cover, it's got the little notch for the crank and roto gear. And that looks like that fits. So let's go ahead and take this apart and let's get started. Okay, so first I'm going to go ahead and take my little slotted screwdriver. I'm going to go ahead and take this handle set off. There's a little set screw here. And you just go counterclockwise. Some of these might be a little harder to remove than other ones. Some of these are made out of Lexan. This one's actually made out of metal. So sometimes you may have to take a little flat bar behind this to get it to pop off, because it does have these little hooks right here that hook onto here. So make sure we remove that. Now, before I forget to tell you, let's go ahead and open this window up a little bit. There we go. And now we can take these covers, and you can use my favorite tool, and you can get that in here. Sometimes you can use the help assist to pop that off. Some people will take them all off at once, but we don't have to here. And in order to get this one off, sometimes you may have a little difficult for it to come off. If you just take this to protect the wood and put this here, you can actually just take and pop this off. Now we can remove our top cover, sometimes by peeling that back and putting that in there. And I'll take that off. We'll go ahead and let this go back in its housing. And now we can remove this top track. And again, you can take this, put it in there like that, and help assist this off. Just like that. Now we can take my second favorite tool, sharpened, stiffened putty knife, and I'm going to put it in this gap here between the frame and this cover. If this has been painted, go ahead and take a utility knife and score the paint or stain lines. You can take these off and remove them just by pulling on them. Sometimes you may have to help these off a little bit, or sometimes you can leave them on, but they may end up falling off. And then now we go ahead and take this in here and just work our way all the way up to the top. Now we can remove this side. Again, if it's painted or stained, go ahead and score your paint lines there. Sometimes I can just take this whole housing and move it towards me. If you do this, it may give you just a big enough gap to get this edge in here, and then you can go ahead and slowly pry this off and set it to the side. So now we can go ahead and put our side stop on. So there's a little lip there, and there's a little lip behind this weather stripping, and this is the barb, and this is a kerf, so it fits in there, and you just press it on there. Just like that. There should be no gap here. Now it's time to put the lock sight on. The lock sight is where the little notch is for the lock. And one little note about this, it's got this little hook here. You know, sometimes I've seen that get caught around this hardware. So you need to be really mindful of when you put it on there, that you look on the back side of it when we're done. So we're gonna go ahead and push this all the way up. So now we're looking at the back side of it. And I just wanna make sure, see how that's like that? You could accidentally go over it like that. You wanna make sure it's tucked in there, behind there, just like that. Now it's time to put the top piece on. If you didn't get this connecting barb on the back side of the retractable screen has these little ones. You could take them off the old retractable screen and use these in their place. It does not have to be continuous, but you can use those if you did not happen to get those. So this just fits in there. Snaps in, then make sure there's no gap here. It looks nice and tight. So we'll go ahead and put our bottom piece in, make sure these vinyl connecting barbs are in place. Sometimes you may have to slightly bow up here and hold this. Then we can push it on there. Like that, should be no gap, looks nice and tight. Okay, now we can install our handle here. And sometimes I like to start on one edge to get that hooked. And then you can take your palm and just give it a, and that'll pop that on and it shouldn't come off. Now, when you set this handle in, most people will just set it on here like this and then tighten it and not think about what position the window is in. So we're gonna go ahead and close the window all the way. And see how it's not lined up properly? So we just go ahead and take it off and we'll go ahead and line that up. And it should pop on there like that. And that way, every time you close the window, it lines up. It may not be 100% perfect, but you get the idea. So it looks just like that. So now we can install our lock and escutcheon. See, it's got those little hooks here. So it's got a thin side that goes in there. Like again, start either at the top or the bottom, and just I'm kind of pushing down a little bit so that snaps on there. And then this goes, and that you hear a little snap, and then there you go. So the moment of truth, we'll see if the screen fits. We'll go ahead and take off these little foam corners here they put on, because we ordered 2 screens, and when they ship them, they stack them on one of another, and then that way these don't scratch each other in shipping. Before we install our screen, Marvin gives you a set of installation instructions and these little screen lifts, and they just need to be popped on here. They just kind of snap on here like this. Sometimes you'll hear a little snap. Just evenly space them, just like that. Now we can install the screen. Moment of truth, let's try it out. Make sure that the top of the screen goes into that little groove. It goes in there. It does not surface mount like that. Sometimes I've seen people just put it on the surface. It actually goes up and behind in there. Just like that. Not like that. It goes in here like that. Just like that. Well, that was simple enough, right? That's how you convert a Marvin Ultimate Casement with a retractable screen to a fixed screen. If this video helped you out, please help me out by hitting the subscribe button at the bottom, and that helps me out. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.